It's Super Bowl day. I don't care what I say. What I say now. What I say.
Say another song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The following podcast is labeled
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Mike's Daily Podcast, and it is accurate that we are here today on a Super Bowl Sunday. Hey, did you see the weekend play? I didn't, cause I don't have access to cable. I'm not able to watch that Canadian singing from his stable of songs. That's wrong.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But I'm enjoying doing a podcast with you today, despite the fact that
Mike's
it's a Sunday.
Daily
It's usually my day of rest,
Podcast.
but not today.
Yeah!
Right now the score is Buccaneers 31, Chiefs 9. I totally care about that and commercials that are played that people go, oh, wow, look, Bruce Springsteen. I'm just not going to do any more talking about that. Last night, I had a bit of a marathon. I watched Midsummer Murders. It's a wonderful British television show that's been on for something like 25 years. And they have interesting little Britishy type murder stories. It takes place out in the countryside. Midsummer, as they call, I don't know where that is in England exactly. Where is Midsummer in England? And Midsummer Norton is a town near the Meddeep Hills in Bath and northeast Somerset, England. Okie doke. Then I'll have to go visit sometime. So people get murdered, and it's little towns, and there's all kinds of gossip going on. And did you know there was an affair with so-and-so and so-and-so? And it's all exciting. And then it's supposed to be contemporary, so people are walking around with smartphones and using tablets and trying to be up on technology.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Yet they live in a small town. Oh, the weekend's medley of hits at the halftime show of 2021. I was easily distracted. I know you were with that long story about the whole Midsummer thing. And the podcast picture has nothing to do with Midsummer, but my own little Midsummer in California. That would be Podcastro Valley. My lovely lady friend and I. You can see it at mikesdailypodcast.com. The weekend took the sole spotlight during the halftime show. His name is Abel Tesfaye. He stayed true to his, I'm just going to call him The Weeknd, without the E at the end. That's right, Basil. Basil doesn't have an E at the end, has an I. The late, great Basil the Boxer. And right there where you see my lovely lady friend and I, Basil the Boxer and I used to go there all the time. And he'd go running around in this area, the big football field that they had for the school in Podcastro Valley. You're not supposed to let pets on the property of schools, but he's been gone for over 6 months now, and so I guess I could say I did it. He went there he trespassed, Basil did, and he did it with pride. That boxer, he loved it. Don't trespass, kids. Especially unless you're with Scooby and Shaggy. Zoinks! So he stayed true to his promise of his solo act and was not joined by any surprise celebrity performers during the show, if one doesn't count the several look-alike dancers with bandaged faces. The show kicked off with The Weeknd in a luxury sports car in front of what looked like the Tampa Bay skyline. As the performer began, a floating figure in white wearing a mask with red glowing eyes was lowered to the ground as a choir, all of whom were dressed in similar garb, began singing. He kicked things off with Starboy, segueing into the hills. I don't care. Oh, he did Can't Feel My Face. I can't feel my face when I'm with you. But I love. Did he do Blinding Lights? He went into a lively performance of Blinding Lights for his finale, of course. because that's the hit song. That's the money shot. It was accompanied by fireworks. It's like Aha, everyone. It's sad the lead singer of Aha can't hit those high notes anymore. I'll be gone in a day. Ouch. Sorry about that. Hey, good to talk to you today on Mike's Daily Podcast. I have a couple tips for you, but first, I would like to say a few things about people today who drive badly. Now, I do that every show. Well, I'm noticing in the Bay Area particularly, no one's stopping. No one's stopping at stop signs. And I got a ticket for that, even though I did stop at the stop sign. But it was, I guess I stopped, and then immediately began going. I didn't stop and then rest for 2 seconds, which then the cop that pulled me over told me that's what I was supposed to do. So, I get caught for everything that the rest of you do. I get caught for. The rest of you go flying through stop signs. What the heck? That's all I got to say. Hey, how's this for irony? While it's a parent's obligation to protect their children, kids tend to know more about tech than mom and dad. Or mom and dad, including how to navigate the internet. Understandably, many parents feel helpless because of this digital divide. But common sense, smart software, and parental controls can help protect the ones you love. No one solution can do it all, of course, but collectively, the following tips should help. Make it a family affair. Yes, especially with young kids, spend time together discovering the internet. The medium will be a crucial part of their lives, and experts say it's key to start on a positive note, bookmarking exciting websites to revisit, looking up information together, watching videos, and playing games. Location. When they're ready to browse by themselves rather than playing an internet-connected computer in a young child's room, keep it in a central location in the home, such as a family room or a highly trafficked area. Kids can feel independent while surfing online, but not be alone in their bedroom, where bad things happen. Monitoring software. Yes, Big Brother. Whether your kids are on a computer, phone, or tablet, software exists to filter out inappropriate websites and prevent sharing too much on social media. With smartphones, there are built-in apps that can monitor a child's whereabouts through the device's location info. But you should probably first discuss these tracking tools with the kids. Do you know, I have this beard I've been growing lately as we go outside a cafe anyway. We're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley 10 today. And I went to trim it. I got this little thing that I've had actually for over a decade now. And it's got this, it's like a little electric razor trimmer thing. And you put this thing on top of it that makes it so that you can control the length of your beard. And, I put it on one thinking, yeah, I want it pretty short. But God, now it looks like I don't even have a beard anymore. It's that short. So, lovely lady friend ain't happy about that. Conversations matter. So next time I'll put it at 5. Because it goes up to 9. Tweens and teens are accessing the internet on portable smartphones, tablets, and other devices, and parents can't always supervise their activity. So it's important to have frank discussions about staying safe online. Topics can include not oversharing on social media, because once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you can't put it back in. There's a brief second where you can, if there's still enough suction and the paste isn't all the way out, you can still kind of suck it back in, but generally not. So once it's out, it's out. And the teenagers need to do that. Need to know about that. And you need to speak up against cyberbullying. And remember, you can set limits on the amount of time children spend online, whether it's on a computer or a video game console. Parental controls let you set restrictions, such as allowing only 3 hours a day, Video game consoles can be set to only play age-appropriate content. Plus, parents can disable features like chatting online when multiplayer games are being played. Remind your children that they should never meet online friends in person. Online friends might not be who they say they are, just as you wouldn't get in a car with a complete stranger danger in real life. You should never agree to meet someone face to face who you met online. Thank you, Costco Connection, for that information. And the guy who in his photo, he looks kind of creepy. Mark Saltzman wrote that. He's their all things tech guru guy. Oh, speaking of tech, once upon a time, in the Democrat Party, there was a lot of this going on. Republicans saying to Democrats, oh, all your entitlements you want to pass. You are just creating a victim mentality. All these people that want to help, that want a handout, they're just going to be living in this victim mentality. And they're always going to be needing, and never standing up on their own, never standing up for themselves. Republicans, you need to listen to what you were telling the Democrats. Because lately, with all of this, the big tech bugaboo, the big tech hurt me. The big tech took me off of Twitter. Remember all this stuff you were talking about with the, free capitalism, with the, working our free society, business. What am I saying? Capitalism. That thing. And I can't think of the other word I'm supposed to be able to think of, and I can't. Sorry. It's been a long weekend. Da 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 da. But yeah. So why why don't you Republicans start your own website? Start your own social media stuff. Oh, but we had Parler, but Amazon canceled Parler. There are other services you can use. It's not only just Amazon. There are the whining that I'm hearing from Republicans about Silicon Valley cancel culture. They're canceling us. What about free enterprise? That was what I was trying to find. What about creating your own? If there is a need, you can make money off of it. Supply and demand. There's obviously a demand for Republican QAnon type websites and social media places. Create it. Tell Twitter to take a hike and start your own. Oh, but I got all these followers on Twitter. You hate Twitter. Why do you want those followers anyway? They'll follow you elsewhere. This is what I'm telling you this now because I have been pounding my fist against the table for years about this topic. Ever since I saw the movie Social Network, and I saw how Mark Zuckerberg was, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I spent all this time on Facebook, and I don't even like Mark Zuckerberg. I didn't like him back then. Why am I spending all this time on this Facebook when I don't get paid any money from Facebook? There was this guy, I'm going to say his name right now, Ray Gonzalez. Hey, Ray, if you listen, you probably don't. Ray Gonzalez and I went to high school together. Nice guy. But the reason why I'm on Facebook is because of Ray Gonzalez. Ray Gonzalez contacted all the people he went to high school with at Santa Clara High School in Oxnard, California, and said, hey, there's this great new thing called Facebook. Why don't you guys all get on it? And we all got on it. We were all able to talk to each other. Some of us met up after a long time. We didn't really need to do high school reunions anymore because now we could do it through Facebook. That was all well and good. But then we're sharing all this information and Facebook's collecting all this data on us. And did Ray Gonzalez get any money for that? No. Did Mike Matthews get any money on that? No. And I'm thinking, why are we just giving this guy all this free information when maybe we should start our own, or we should, I created my own website, mikesdailypodcast.com. And people go, oh, Mike, why didn't you tell us that Basil passed away on Facebook? No, because if people keep in contact with me through Facebook only and don't listen to Mike's Daily Podcast, then they're not real friends. They're not supporting me. They're not helping me out. Why should I tell you on Facebook? Why does Facebook need that post? Why does Facebook need that information? Sure, I post links to where to listen to Mike's Daily Podcast on Facebook. But all the stuff, everything is on the website I pay for, mikesdailypodcast.com. And people should go there. And I'm not going to, I pay money for mikesdailypodcast.com. Would I love a sponsor for mikesdailypodcast.com so I could defer the cost? That would be awesome. If you are interested in being a sponsor of mikesdailypodcast.com, you can call me at 336-MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews Daily, as in what this podcast has been for several days. But just the constant whining and this word deplatforming and all of this I'm hearing from the right, it's just gotta stop. You guys sound like weak little wimps. You're the bleeding hearts now. Stop it. Man up. Woman up. Not to be sexist, or person up, human up. Be tough. Don't worry about Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is just a little overpriced area in California. And a lot of creative folks there, a lot of smart folks there created an empire. But you know what? You can create an empire wherever you are. You could be in Huntsville, Alabama, and create an empire. And I used to live in Huntsville, Alabama. And while I was living in Huntsville, Alabama, I was thinking, why the social network? Why is Facebook? Exactly. Okay. Grace isn't exclusively a religious word or a short prayer of blessing on thanks. Grace can be justifiably related to the attitudes and the actions of all leaders. The best leaders are those who are not only competent, bold, authentic. You should be bold, Republicans. Be bold. What's that old saying? Be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. Or was it mighty angels? I forget. Authentic, trustworthy, and effective, but the best leaders are those who embody the concept of graciousness in what they say, how they behave, and how they relate to others. Grace is kindness, courtesy, and tact. It is characterized by charm, good taste, and generosity of spirit, which we need a lot more of in this world. Grace implies cordiality that is warm and ready to respond pleasantly to conversations, requests, or proposals. Good leaders understand the need to demonstrate their gracefulness. They also understand the powerful connection between treating people gracefully and their desired organizational outcomes. Grace has the additional qualities of genuineness, truthfulness, and affirmation. There is an implied relationship between grace and being nice. However, being nice doesn't necessarily mean that a leader is genuine, truthful, affirming, or gracious. Just want to share that out. And you could substitute the word leader for just being a good person or a better person in this world. Grace is an important thing to have. One of the radio stations I work for, a religious station, most of the shows, most of the programs have the word grace in the title. It's a big word. It's a big word in religion. It should be a big word in life. Life is short. You need a lot of grace. You need to give a lot of grace. Bad leaders tend toward insufficiency regarding grace. They are deficient in kindliness, cordiality, generosity, and warmth. Bad leaders demonstrate their lack of gracefulness and lack the ability to make the connection between treating people gracefully and the results they want. Keep that in mind in life. Don't be a bad leader. Don't be a bad person. And that all came from good success, learning good lessons from bad leaders. E. Arthur Self, Ph.D. Thank you for writing that. Hey, I'm going to tell you this podcast has on it the label health and fitness. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am seriously lacking in the fitness area. I try to be healthy in mind and spirit, but the body is lacking these days. Partly I blame my lovely lady friend who likes to buy me bagels that have cheese and egg in the middle. Oh, that's so delicious. And a shout out to Dennis who runs Posh Bagel and Podcaster Rally. He doesn't pay me anything, but he's a nice guy. He's got a lot of grace and I like him. Here's the thing is you have to watch it with the carbs, with the cheese, with the egg. Have a lot of fruit, have a lot of vegetables. Max out on the vegetables. We talked about that the other night with lovely lady friend. Lovely lady friend dropped an F-bomb, but it was the fandango word, not the other bad word. And so she said fandango to the fact that I can't eat carbs. I love carbs. I love rice. I love potatoes. But, it's kind of hard to break the habit of that. Hey, we're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley. 10. Let's say hi to some folks that are joining us right now.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, Chef Supervisor. Oh my gosh, I didn't know I was supposed to be here today.
Yes, there's a lot of folks here today because it's Super Bowl Sunday, and we're all hanging out because we don't like watching sports. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Yes, Mike, I'm not watching the Super Bowl right now, but I did eat a big bowl of peas. Peas. Peas, I have been told, is actually a starch, but it's green, so that sounds like it's better for you than rice or the other starches that can be. Brown rice is a little bit better for you. Quinoa. And then barley is good for you, too. Have you tried barley? You have to cook it for a long time. Look who else is here.
Hi, Mark. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
It's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
It is that guy, that Dorsey guy. He hates all Republicans, so I think we should boycott him and boycott Twitter, tell you what.
See? Republicans got to be more like the disgruntled fiddle player. And look, one more person here.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. Here's some on there.
Is this a delicious Super Bowl root beer? But by Super Bowl, we mean the big bowl of peas that John Deere, the engineer, was talking about?
Yeah, okay, whatever. Drink some right now. I'll cut you.
Have they made beer out of peas yet? That's just not good verbiage. Next show, it's going to be the wonderful, I guess we'll have Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster back. We'll see. You'll have to tune in and see. Tell me what you think. 336MM Daily. 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM is in Mike Matthews Daily, as in what this podcast has been. And thank you for listening to episode 2201, 2201, as we are now in the 2200 series. Woohoo!
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!